So this weekend I had some free time on my hands, so I decided to reread one of my favorite books, Big Secrets by William Poundstone. He's got a whole chapter in here on subliminal messaging in movies, which I thought might make for a good video. So there's this famous anecdote I'm sure you're vaguely familiar with about this guy running a movie theater in the 1950s who started putting subliminal messages in the movies telling the audience to buy more popcorn. Supposedly, popcorn sales went way up. I actually remember reading about this guy in my communications textbook in university, but in reality the story is apparently all garbage. According to the Snopes people, the guy who did the famous popcorn movie theater stunt later confessed to having falsified his data, and these days a lot of people believe that the whole experiment may have never even taken place. Nevertheless, this whole idea of putting subliminal messages in movies has been very hot ever since, and people continue to cram them into all sorts of things, either for serious or silly reasons. By the way, did you notice the subliminal message at the beginning of this video? You likely did, because this video is called all about subliminal messages, so your brain was probably geared up to spot them. But even then, a lot of so-called subliminal messages are not actually that subtle, which is one of the reasons why the science behind this phenomenon is such bunk. Most subliminal messages are created by inserting a single frame of video, so I am recording this at 29 frames per second, which means that a single frame of video will be on screen for 1/29th of a second, like this. That was pretty obvious, right? Most movies are shot at 24 frames per second. Most TV is shot at 30 frames per second. The human eye can very easily detect images that appear on screen for 1/24th of a second or 1/30th of a second. It's not that difficult. The Exorcist is probably the most famous movie to use subliminal messaging in an attempt to make the film more scary. Basically, at various times, a scary face will flash on the screen for a few frames. Here, see if you can notice it in this clip. Did you see? It's pretty scary, but I think it's only scary because it's startling, sort of like a jump scare. I understand The Ring has a lot of one-frame scary stuff as well, but I'm too chicken to look that up. Now here's a clip from an old British sitcom called The Young Ones that also contains a subliminal image.
Right, here it is, okay, now eat it up quickly, okay?
What's this?
It's risotto, Mike.
It's snow, isn't it, Neil?
Did you see that one? It was a skier for some reason. That show had a lot of weird subliminal messages in various episodes, I guess to be funny or something. Don't ask me, I'm not British. Anyway, the point is it's hard to do subliminal messages in a subtle way, which is why you don't see them used that often. Since our brains move faster than video or TV frame rates, most of the time they're way too obvious. But it does vary somewhat from person to person and whether or not you're looking for them. Now, if you really want your secret pictures to be truly secret and subliminal, your best bet is to insert them into a crazy, chaotic scene where there's so much stuff happening that it kind of overpowers your brain, you can't really distinguish individual images. For example, check out this scene from Cloverfield. Now, I'm sure you didn't notice this, but amid all that crazy flashing, there was a single picture of King Kong. Or how about this clip from the Alf animated series? This clip actually caused a bit of a scandal in the 1980s when someone discovered the hidden image.
We don't have reverse, sir. A budgetary cutback.
Let me guess now.
Amid all the flashing chaos, there was this image. Apparently the Japanese animators who worked on the cartoon inserted this picture to make fun of Americans. The other subliminal imaging trick is to make the secret image really light, so it sort of blends into its surroundings and is less jarring when it appears. Here, we see part of the ending from Psycho.
And they'll know, and they'll say, why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
As I'm sure you noticed, there was a skull that was sort of briefly appeared on Norman's face there. Pretty creepy! Episodes of the cartoon Invader Zim also contain a lot of subliminal images of this sort, but they are so subtle and so faded that the fans often fight about exactly where they are. Here's a clip.
Enjoy your last moments
Of privacy.
This gruesome little guy appeared for a split second right here. Supposedly, the Invader Zim people were told not to use this gross image in their cartoons by the higher-ups, so they got their revenge by inserting it into a whole bunch of episodes, but in a way that was too subtle to be noticed. So, mission accomplished, I guess? Anyway, so that's the deal with subliminal images. They're kinda dumb, and they kinda don't work. The whole thing is basically just junk science from the 50s that's devolved into a kind of sophomoric prank. Not like secret back messages on records. Now those are the real deal. So until next time...